Ozzie Jurock joins us now with a look at real estate. And Ozzie, you haven't been around all summer. You've been having the summer off, but we have a lot of questions for you today.
All righty, shoot.
There's a major shift in our real estate market. It's turning into a buyer's market, really, isn't it?
No question. Actually, it was reported, a big headline, that we had the first price decline in the national price since 1999. Well, it was 0.5%. And most cities like Edmonton, Calgary, they saw about a 2% on average. Vancouver still had an 8% increase, Toronto, Montreal, 4% increase, and Ottawa, 7%. But the key is, as you mentioned earlier, sales are sharply lower. When you take a look at places like Regina, for instance, which has been a darling, and Saskatoon, well, all of a sudden you have sales that are almost 40% lower, and at the same time listings are 45 to 50% higher, and that clearly is presaging a turn into a buyer's market. On top of it, it came in the strongest months normally. May and June are our biggest months.
Okay. Now, you referenced this a little bit already, but another interesting statistic in Vancouver, especially the year-over-year decrease in unit sales.
Sure.
Vancouver kind of leads the way. What does that mean?
Well, it means that we have fewer sales, and it means that perhaps the buyer is getting a little punch drunk. Let's face it, we have a 72% affordability quotient. It takes 72% for the average Vancouverites earning to buy the average Vancouver home, and it's just not tenable. We can't just have only offshore buyers keeping prices at the $900,000 mark. So to take a little bit of a breather, either wages have to go higher or prices have to adjust.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that prices in Vancouver, at least, are still going up for Greater Vancouver. Prices are going down a little bit in Victoria compared to this time last year. What do you think the trend is going to be for the next year or so? Are prices in Greater Vancouver, this really hot real estate market, are they going to drop? Are they going to adjust?
I think prices are going to adjust, and I think in some areas they're going to drop more than other areas. For instance, in the pre-sale market, in some of the newer construction.
For condos or for everything?
Well, for condos primarily, because in some areas we have some overbuilding. And the market always adjusts itself. So if there are too many condos in a specific area, then we'll see a drop. And I wouldn't be surprised, but remember, people always, they want absolutes. You know, I write a column for the Vancouver Sun with question and answers, and the most asked question is, should I sell now and then wait till it collapses and then buy back? And I say, yes, I know when it's going to happen, next February at 2 o'clock, right? There's no such thing. I think even in the worst case scenario, we would have a 3-year downturn with a 17% decline in prices. So people would expect that we go down into some never land. Not going to happen.
But you're a real estate investor. What are you tending to do right now? Are you tending to just hold on to some of the properties that you have as investments?
Well,
are you letting them go?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, whenever somebody asks me, should I sell, I said, do you have something better to invest it into? Where do you want to invest to? Banks that are down 22% in the stock market? Do you want to go on all these uncertainties? And if I have something that I like and it makes me a cash flow, keep it. As a seller, the question isn't that sales are down 40%. The question is, get a professional realtor that puts me into the 60% that are selling. And as a buyer, you don't buy a property without having a subject to the sale of my property. I mean, so often people...
We can do that now, can't we? Because the market's
Absolutely. And if
enough.
the realtor says he doesn't want to do it, get another realtor. Because the key is that you want to be safe and not get stuck with 2 homes, because your homes may be longer to sell.
All right, Ozzie. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Take care.
If you have any more questions for Ozzie, or you would like to purchase a copy of his newsletter, www.jurock.com or 604-683-1111.